everyone! Today I'm going to be unboxing some of Monsta X member IM's solo efforts. I have two versions of his new Korean EP Overdrive. I believe this is the metal and the blue version from the Korean press of the album. I also have the special vinyl edition of his debut solo mini album, Duality, and I am super excited to open all of these and take a look at them. I'm going to start with the vinyl first, since that was the first album released chronologically. This album was originally released back in 2021 as a digital-only release. He said at the time that there were talks of making it a proper physical album, but because some of the songs on the album were labeled explicit, it would have required age restrictions, and I believe he said he didn't want to deal with the logistics of all of that, so I really did not expect this album to get a physical release at all. And when this vinyl was announced, it came out of nowhere, and it was such a pleasant surprise. Another reason I'm surprised they released it is that this was released originally when IM was signed still with Starship as a soloist, and he has since signed with Sony Korea, who put out his Overdrive EP. And this physical version was released after that signing happened. So I don't know if Starship, wanted to cash in by doing a physical version or what. But either way, I'm super, super happy that they came out with this, because I really like this album and I'm really glad that it didn't end up being digital only. This was a very limited release, however, so I don't think it's easy to get now. And that's why I'm unboxing my copy, even though this physical version was released a couple months ago. I know not that many people were able to get their hands on it, so I want to share what it comes with, at least virtually, with people. And normally vinyl packaging is pretty bare bones. This honestly is the nicest vinyl that I have in my personal collection. It comes in this really nice box recreation of the cover art, which is so, so gorgeous. And it's a thick box, too. It's not your normal sleeve record packaging. On the spine it says IM first solo digital mini album, Duality, with some more text down there. And then the back cover is also very, very gorgeous. And this EP had 5 songs on it. And interestingly, they're all pressed on side A of the vinyl. There is nothing on side B, which is really nice because it is a pretty short album. For me, I think it's very convenient for listening purposes to have it all on one side. That way you don't have to worry about flipping it after just a couple of songs. But there are 5 songs, the title track, Goddamn, and then the B-sides, Howlin', Burn, Happy to Die, and Flowered. He did parts of Goddamn and Happy to Die as his solo stage for Monsta X's tour last year, their No Limit tour. Honestly, one of the highlights of the night, in my opinion. I really, really like Happy to Die, and it was so fun live. And then on this side of the spine, the text is the same, but the art is a little bit different because it's the other part of the box. So it is box style packaging, which means the lid lifts off, and we even have a design on the inside of the lid. Again, so nice. And then we have our contents. So the first thing we have here is, I forget what they labeled this as. I don't remember if they called this a poster, but it's basically just this large art shot. And I believe this may have been random. There were some random elements within the album, but because it was on the pricey side, I'm not worried about collecting anything. I'm just keeping what came in my version. But yeah, such a beautiful image of Junghyun. And on the back, we have another picture. So it may not have been random. I should have looked at the specs before I started filming, but I always forget to do that. And then underneath that, we have this gorgeous, large photo book, which I am so, so excited to look through. I did actually open this up when my copy first arrived, just to verify that the vinyl was in good condition. but I have not fully looked through the photo book yet. I was saving that for the unboxing, and it's got a decent amount of pages too, which is really exciting. And then of course we have the actual vinyl, which I'm trying to be very careful with because vinyl is a much more delicate media form than a CD. That is what the back box cover looks like. One thing I think is really nice is that the vinyl comes in two different sleeves. So we have this paper sleeve, which is fairly typical vinyl packaging, and you can see there that the side B is totally blank, even on the label. And then it's also inside of this plastic sleeve, so it gives it just a little bit extra protection. I will not be taking it out of the plastic sleeve. But yeah, you can see it is just a plain black disc. It is not colored vinyl. And the tracks, again, all 5 of them are on side A. Goddamn, Helen, Burn, Happy to Die, and Flowered. And the back is just totally smooth, totally blank. Very cool. Very exciting piece of media. They don't make that many vinyls in K-pop, and I'm very selective with which ones I buy, just because of how expensive vinyl is. I do have a couple of Monsta X's albums on vinyl. They did press both of their English albums, and I do have both of those. But I'm super, super happy to add this I Am Solo to that collection. And again, just super exciting that we got a physical release of this at all, because I really did not anticipate that. The booklet, as I said, is so large and so gorgeous. None of the other K-pop vinyls that I've purchased have come with booklets. They've been more bare bones packaging with just the vinyl and then the sleeve and maybe like a lyrics page. So I'm really, really glad that this came with one to make it, number one, more of a collector's item, and number two, feel more like a proper K-pop release for this album instead of just like a quick physical printing of it. I hope that makes sense. I might... Yeah, I'm going to see if I can zoom out just a little bit more so we can see a little bit more of these pages. Okay. Did I show you the spine? The spine is just blank. There's no writing on that. Okay, yeah, it's just big enough. So the first page here says I Am Duality, which again is the name of the album. And I imagine we're going to see a lot of pictures from the music video set for Goddamn. I think that will be the main photo concept here. I do think it's funny that this is a physical release, but it still keeps saying first solo digital mini album, because that is what it originally was, and then they did this physical release later. But it's still funny to me to see it being referred to as a digital item on a physical piece of media. Yeah, this photo shoot does a really good job of capturing the moody vibes of the album. I'm really enjoying that. I like that it's not all like glamour shots. I do feel like there's a bit too many blank pages for my personal taste, but oh wow, that's really pretty. Oh, this one too. I really like the lighting they used in this photo shoot. Yeah, such a gorgeous, moody vibe that again just perfectly fits the vibe of the album. This is a really pretty shot. I really like this one. Again, the colors, so beautiful. So many blues and reds and purples. I say as I flip to a yellow page. Oh, these are nice. I kind of like how so far it feels like we had more of the mysterious smoky images in the first half, and now we've got some clearer pictures. Oh, this does also come with a photo card. I believe it was random 1 out of 2. I am not planning to thoroughly collect the cards, largely because of the limited availability of this release and how expensive it was. I'm just keeping whichever card I pull. Okay. So this does look like it is standard Monsta X photo card size, which is good. I don't know if his cards in the Sony album are going to be the sizing or not. The back design is pretty simple. It says, "I am Duality, first solo digital mini album." And oh, that's cute. I got this one in the yellow suit jacket outfit. I'm really curious what the other option was. I think there were just 2. I'll have to fact check myself, and if I'm wrong, I'll correct it in the comments. Yeah, this is a really gorgeous video. I do highly recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I'm, again, so happy that we finally got a physical photo book for this. I know I've already said it multiple times, but I just really did not think we would ever get one, so I'm so happy to have this in my collection. It's such a big photo book, too. Like, this is like nice art book, coffee table book size. It's so gorgeous. Oh, that shot right there is so insanely pretty. Like, that's like album cover material, I feel like. Oh, I really like the shade of muted blue for these pages. Making sure pages weren't sticking together, so we've got a slight concept switch here. Yeah, I really like the vibes of these pictures. Ooh. I will have to remember to put a slight trigger warning in the timestamps in the description for this. Was not expecting the fake blood from the video to make an appearance in this photo book, but thankfully it's not super graphic. That's really gorgeous. I probably sound like a broken record just saying that over and over, but this really is just a very gorgeous photo shoot. Very moody. Oh, I bet we've reached the end. Okay, so here we have all our lyrics, and all of the songs were self-composed by Jonghyun. He is the sole lyricist credited on every single track, and he composed all of them himself with a couple select collaborators. There's a lot of English in his solo music, too. Like, about half of Goddamn is in English, all of Howlin' is, a good chunk of Happy to Die. Flowered is completely in Korean, though, which is super interesting. Yeah, I really like his solo music. It's very different from what he does in Monsta X, a lot moodier, but I really like the vibes. Oh, I like the just like jet black pages at the end. Super emo way to close the photo book. And then that is the back cover. I do wish that this could have been a wider release, but K-pop vinyls are super limited. Vinyl in general tends to be a pretty limited medium, but K-pop vinyls especially. But this is such a gorgeous packaging for this album and super worth it in my opinion. Like, this was not cheap, but I definitely feel like it was worth the money, and I'm super happy to have it in my collection. Next up, we're going to take a look at his new EP, Overdrive, and this was released in a few different versions. The ones I have here are the main photobook versions for the Korean release of the album. This is the metal version, and this is the blue version. He also released 2 polka albums, which are the photo card only albums, and I believe they matched up with these 2 versions. Those were only available from Korean retailers, as these were. These were also the Korean version of the album. And then he also did a US release exclusively through his web store. I don't know if that's going to be pushed to any physical US retailers. As of now, I don't think it has been. But that included a jewel case version exclusive to the US, and then I believe the photo books and most of the contents were the same as these 2, but they were in box style packaging rather than this bag packaging. I personally greatly prefer the box style packaging. I do not like bag packaging. I try to avoid it if I can. The only reason I chose to go with the Korean version instead of the American box packaging version is it would have been more expensive to order the box versions from his web store than to get these Korean ones. So, because the photo books, I believe, are the same, I decided to settle for packaging I like a little bit less because it saved money in the long run. I believe the Korean version and the US one have different photo cards, so if he ends up putting the US version in retail stores like Target, for example, I may later decide to pick up that as well, but for right now at least, I'm content with these 2. And very excited to look through the photo books and see the inclusions. Again, I will say it over and over, bag packaging is not my favorite. I really don't prefer bag packaging. But I will say, of the few albums I have purchased that come in bag packaging, this is some of the less bad bag packaging that I've seen. The actual bag itself is plain. There's no external decoration on the front other than this sticker here, which says Overdrive and has some copyright information. We can see it is distributed by Sony Music Entertainment rather than Starship, because he is still a part of Monsta X under Starship, but he is signed with Sony as a soloist. This album has 6 songs, 1 more than his debut mini-album. We have the title track Overdrive, and then the B-sides Blame, Dumb, Habit, More, and Not Sorry. Again, I really, really enjoy every one of those songs. I really liked Duality, but I think musically this is a step up from that. It's very much the same vibe. If you liked the sound of Duality, you will like Overdrive, whereas vice versa, if you weren't really feeling the Duality sound, Overdrive may also not be for you musically, but I really, really like it. I think it's a very distinct, unique vibe that he has going on as a soloist, and I really like that so far it's been consistent, that he has a cohesive sound as a soloist. I really, really enjoy that, so I'm personally not mad about getting more in that style. And the back, again, super plain. But I also don't mind that because it means there's not any nice graphics or stickers to worry about messing up. There is like a resealable zip on the bag, which again, I much prefer to the sticker closures I've seen some other bag packaging have. And there is a notch for you to tear it open. So I'm going to do that. Oh, I don't like this. I'm going to get a pair of scissors. I don't like tearing it. Okay. I cut that open because I didn't like the jagged edge that tearing it was going to leave. And yeah, it opens very easily and would reseal just as easily, which I do like. I like that there's no stickers to worry about ripping or resealing. I like that this is resealable. I will give credit where credit is due. If you're going to do bag packaging, this might be the way to go. but preferably just don't do bag packaging. So here is everything that you get inside of that bag. We've got this little envelope, which looks like it might have the photo cards in it, potentially. I really like the way this looks. It's got a bit of a texture to it, and then the text is in, like, this foil. This silver foil. Very pretty. Then we have a pack of stickers. Unfortunately, that is stapled shut, so didn't take long for there to be a packaging element I'm not as big of a fan of. I actually think I'm going to leave that sealed because I'm not a big sticker person and I know I'm never going to be able to get that as nice as it is now. So sincere apologies if you're wanting to see what all of those stickers look like, because I don't want to mess up that nice sealed bag packaging there. And then we have the CD itself, which looks like it's going to be incredibly plain, because it looks like the text is on the case rather than the CD. Very interesting. I like that it's in a very thin jewel case. I think that I prefer this, to putting it in a sleeve, and I especially prefer it to just putting it loose, like some albums have done. Okay, there is some text on the CD, but Overdrive is on the case part. Interesting. But yeah, it's a very plain, just holographic disc with some Sony copyright, and then his new solo logo at the bottom there. Very nice. And then we have, this must be the lyrics booklet, maybe? Oh, it is. We'll take a closer look at that in just a moment. Then we have the photo book, which looks so nice. I really enjoy the metallic look to that. That's very pretty. And then this looks like a poster of some kind. Ooh, this is nice. So it's a folded poster. And gosh, this looks like a Calvin Klein ad or something with the way it's black and white. That's really nice. And it's a very interesting material, too. It's like glossy, but has a little bit of a texture to it, but it doesn't feel thick. Very interesting. And then the back is like more matte papery. Very interesting. That's a really nice poster. So let's look at the lyrics book first. Again, I really like the packaging. The front is textured with the foil, similar to that pocket. Or not pocket, that envelope that I showed earlier. And then this very pretty graphic of flames. So we have the lyrics for Overdrive, the title track. Again, all of the songs on this album have Jung Kyun as the sole lyricist, and he is the main composer with a couple of, I think it's the same co-composers he worked with for Duality, which explains why the vibes are so similar. Again, a lot of English in the lyrics. He incorporates a lot of that in his solo material. Yeah, like, Blame is almost entirely in English. And again, the whole album is really good. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. I really like Blame. I really like Dumb. I really like Habit. I really like the whole album. I love the font they use for that text. It's very pretty. It's so good. Like, I really strongly recommend this album if you haven't heard it yet. And then Not Sorry. Oh, you've got some more credits at the end there. Some of the, like, physical packaging credits. Very nice. And now, let's take a look at the photo book. Again, I know I'm a broken record, but this is just so gorgeous. I really, really like the way this looks. No text on the spine again. Oh, the back cover is gorgeous as well. Oh! Okay, so photo cards are in here. I thought they were going to be last. So let's see what's in this envelope then, since it's not the photo cards. Oh! It's some of the photo cards. That's interesting. I've not seen any unboxings of this yet, so... Oh, that's really fun. It's like a fake driver's license. That's really cute. This I Am Second EP Overdrive. Date of birth, January 26, 1996. Date of issue, which I think was the day the album came out, June 23rd, 2023. That's a really cool inclusion. I really like that. Oh, and you also get this little lenticular card. Interesting. I wonder if you get the same one in every album or if this is random. Very pretty. Very cool. I didn't realize you got so many different cards. That's really exciting. Oh, and the back of the lenticular. Alright, now let's look through this booklet. Well, let's look at these photo cards first. So, I got this really cute selfie card. Where did I just put the one from Duality? Hold on, I need to do a size comparison. I need to see if these are Monster X sized. I don't think they are. Okay, so here's his card from Duality, which is a little bit bigger than most photo cards, like Monster X cards tend to be. No! Ugh, that's gonna bother me. That's gonna bother me in my photo card binder. So, his solo cards, other than the one from Duality, are not Monster X sized. They're smaller. Honestly, that's good for me because I have a rule with my Monster X photo card collection that if it is smaller by Monster X standards, which is a normal photo card size, then I don't stress about collecting it. So that tells me that at least for right now, I'm not going to worry about collecting Changhyun solo cards. I'm just going to keep the ones I pull in the album. That may change later on, but for now at least, I'm not going to be thoroughly collecting him as a soloist. But that's a really cute card. I'm very pleased with this pull. Oh, and it's got a handwritten message on the back. Very cute. Because I want to say he had like 6 different cards per version. And then there's also the different cards in the US press versus the Korea press. So, yeah, me not striving to thoroughly collect those is a bit of a relief, honestly. Oh, these are fun. So we have these, like, concept cards. This one is him standing far away, and this one is a close-up, a very close-up. Very cool. I wonder if these are random, or if you get the same ones in every one. Now let's take a look through this booklet. So it looks like we get more of that black and white vibe from the poster. Oh, that's a really pretty picture. I wonder if it's all going to be in black and white. Because I remember the photo book for Trespass is all in black and white. So that would be a nice little throwback to the group's debut. I'm particular when it comes to black and white photo shoots. I'm not generally a huge fan of it, but I really like the vibe of this one. Because for me, with the styling, it really gives off like Calvin Klein ad vibes, which is very nice. These close-up shots are gorgeous. Oh wow, talk about an extreme close-up. Yeah, the concept cards, I feel like did a really good job of showcasing the two. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, this is a gorgeous photo shoot and super different from anything he's done in Monsta X's albums. I feel like I keep saying this in my recent Monsta X unboxings, but I think it's really impressive for a group that's been around as long as they have and had as many different album versions as they have, that they can still try new things. Like, there's still concepts and vibes and photo shoot ideas that they haven't done yet at this point in their career. I think that's really impressive. Like, they've done so much, and then there's still so many new concepts to explore. Wow. Yeah, this is a gorgeous photo shoot. Like I said, I'm normally picky about black and white photo shoots, but this one is really, really nice. Oh, I love this one where you can see his tattoos. He has such gorgeous tattoos. Yeah, this is really beautiful. Oh, this is nice. He's got like a little handwritten message. I'll have to see if I can translate that. Or see if somebody has posted a translation online. That's very sweet. Yeah, that's really nice. And the two, like, concept photo cards did a really good job of showcasing the two different concepts in the photo book. That's really cool. So that was the metal version. I'm really excited to see what the blue version looks like now, because blue is my favorite color. So I always love when there's a blue version of an album. And I really like the way they did this bag. I like that it's blue on the back. I think that's really, really pretty. And it makes it a little more interesting to me than just the plain silver bag. Alright, I cut the top off of this one. So let's see what we have in here. Oh, and the sticker on this one is blue as well. So, same inclusions for the most part. We have the envelope again. The stickers are different though, which is nice. I like that. The CD, which is pretty much the same as the other one, but the text is blue instead of white. So that is a closer look at that disc. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. That is a closer look at the disc. And then the overdrive. Very nice. Again, I do slightly prefer this one just because I like the color blue better. It's my favorite color. And then it looks like the lyrics book might be exactly the same. Okay, yeah, that is the same, which makes sense because the aesthetics are both blue and fire. It like matches both versions, so that makes sense. I feel like that's a smart cost-cutting measure, is having the lyrics booklet be the same. And the photo book, I do like the design of this. I was gonna say I think I like the flame version a little bit better, but the way the light hits the shade of blue is so gorgeous. I don't know how well that's gonna come across on camera, but in person that's really stunning. It's very purpley blue. It's super pretty. And then the poster, which I presume is going to be different. Ooh, oh it is. And right away, this is a very different concept from the other version. I am a sucker for like reflection elements in photo shoots. That has me very excited to look through this photo book. I really like that. And again, the same deal where the back is very matte and papery, but the actual poster part is thicker and smoother. Very interesting. I do want to go ahead and look through the cards in this envelope. Yeah, they're definitely different. So we have, again, the driver's license kind of card, or ID card. I like how blue that is. That's so pretty. And then the lenticular card. This one doesn't shift as easily as the other one did. It's harder for me to get the second image to show up. Oh, there we go. Well, I can see it well in person. I'm trying to get it to come. There we go. Yeah, it's not wanting to show up as good on camera as it is in person, but I imagine these are the two concepts that we're going to see here. Yeah, just between these two albums, I might be able to fill out a whole page with I Am solo cards now. That's exciting. Okay, so the photo cards look like they're going to be a bit later in the photo book this time. So we start off, it looks like, with this photo shoot from the poster. Ooh. It's kind of like a mechanic vibe. I wasn't expecting that from the poster. Very cool. Oh, he's so pretty. I love when he has longer hair. Like, he always looks good no matter what haircut and color he has, but when his hair grows out a little bit, I feel like it frames his face so nicely. Oh, wow. Wow. Like, these photo shoots give off such strong modeling vibes. I really like them. Oh, these ones are so nice. Okay. Ooh! Sorry about that. There was some really loud traffic outside. These photo cards. Yeah, I don't know what all the different options were, but I'm very satisfied with both of the cards I pulled for the selfie cards. Oh, these must be lyrics from the song, Forget Yesterday, I'm Running on My Lane. I think those were lyrics in Overdrive. I love that these have handwritten messages, man. That's my one complaint with Monsax's photo cards. It's not enough of them have their handwriting on the back, so I really, really like that he's done that for his solo albums. Or solo album, I should say, because it's just Overdrive so far. And the concept cards this time around. Interesting. Okay, I think, yeah, that's where we left off. Again, so pretty. Yeah, I'm really glad I did pick up both versions of this album because I've really enjoyed all of the photo shoot concepts so far. Now we have our concept switch. The second concept. Ooh! This is a fun page. I really like the graphic design here. That's really cool. Oh, these pages are really nice too. Yeah, I really like the lighting in this photo shoot. That's really nice. Ooh, was not expecting some warmer colors here. That's really fun. It was like all blue until these last few pages, and now we have more of the red vibe. Very cool. And a handwritten message. Yeah, wow, I really enjoyed that. Like, I was honestly not that excited about the packaging when I saw that these albums were going to be in bags, but I thought the photo books were really well done, and again, as far as bag packaging goes, if you must put it in a bag, this was not that bad. But that is it for today's unboxing. I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more unboxings or K-pop hauls like this one, you can check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.